6.1c is about multiplying radicals. So we want to be able to find the product of two radical expressions. So remember our rules for simplest form, there are no perfect squares in the radicand. Right, so 4 we'd have to simplify down to 2. There are no radicals in the denominator, so we couldn't have this, and there are no fractions. Today we're just going to be focusing on there are no perfect squares in the radicand. So if we are multiplying, you are either in jail or you are out of jail. So if things are underneath the radical, we can multiply them together. If things are outside of the radical, we could multiply them together. Okay? You either have to stay in jail or you have to stay out of jail. We can apply the multiplying and dividing properties of numbers if the numbers are underneath the radical. So we'll multiply and divide just like you've been doing since elementary school. Let's take a look at a couple properties of multiplication. We're going to look at the fact that if you have the square root of a times b, that's the same as taking the square root of a and multiplying it by the square root of b. Well, let's test this out. So the square root of 4 times 9 is equal to the square root of 36. Well, the square root of 36 is just 6. The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 9 is 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. So notice we get 6 for both answers. Let's try another one. The square root of 25 times 4 is the square root of 100, which is just 10. The square root of 25 is 5 times the square root of 4 is 2. Well, 5 times 2 equals 10. So again, we get the same answer. So all this is saying is if you have both your numbers underneath the radical, multiplying them together is the same as having two separate radicals and multiplying them. So basically, if we have two separate radicals, we could combine them to make one radical. And we'll be doing that a lot when we're multiplying. So we want to simplify this completely so we can't have any perfect squares under our radical. So 300 we could say is 30 times 10. Well, 30 we could write as 3 times 10. We could keep factoring our 10s, but I noticed we already have a group of 2. So we could rewrite this. 5 is going to stay outside our radical. Instead of 300, we'd have 10 squared times 3. Well, now that we found our groups of 2, we can take the square root. So 5 is still outside. Square root of 10 squared. We'll cancel each other out. So we have a 10 that comes out of our radical. Square root of 3, we can't take that and get a nice whole number, so that's stuck in jail under the radical. Now that 5 and 10 are both out of jail or outside of our radical, we could multiply them together, and we'll have 50. And then our square root of 3, again, is just taken along at the end. So 5 times the square root of 300 is equal to 50 times the square root of 3. We can't go any farther because we've simplified everything outside of the radical, and we've simplified everything under the radical. That's how we know we're done. Let's try another one. So we have the square root of 6 times the square root of 15. Well, we could write that underneath one radical. So the square root of 6 times 15. Well, we could write 6 as 2 times 3 and 15 as 3 times 5. So look here, we have a group of 2. So we could actually write this as the square root of 3 squared times 2 times 5. And now we can just take the square root. Well, the square root of 3 squared, those cancel each other out. So we have a 3 that comes out of our radical. 2 and 5 are stuck inside because we can't take the square root. But we could multiply them to get 10. So 3 times the square root of 10 is our answer. Let's try another one. So the square root of 13 times the square root of 52. Let's combine that into one radical. So 13 times 52. If we multiply that out, we get a really big number. So let's just try to factor it first. Well, 13, that's prime. 52, we could actually write as 13 times 4. Look here, we have a group of 2 right here. So we could write this as the square root of 13 squared times 4. Well, the square root of 13 squared is just 13. The square root of 4 is 2. Since 13 and 2 both came out of our radical or out of jail, we could multiply them to get 26 as our final answer. Well, letter D, we need to use the distributive property. So we have the square root of 2 times 5 minus the square root of 8. So let's go ahead and distribute that square root of 2. Well, square root of 2 times 5 is 5 square roots of 2. You always want to put your whole number out in front before your radical. Then we want to take the square root of 2 and multiply it by the square root of 8. Okay. Well, 5 square roots of 2, we can't do anything to simplify that, right? So we're just going to rewrite that. But square root of 2 times square root of 8, we could write that as 1 radical. So the square root of 2 times 8. 5 square root of 2, again, stays the same. Well, the square root of 2 times 8, we could write as the square root of 16. The square root of 16 is just 4. We have 5 square roots of 2 minus 4 as our final answer. We can't combine them anymore because they're not like terms, and there's nothing else to simplify. So that's how we know we're done. Notice since we had a square root of 2, right? 2 was inside our jail, 5 was outside our jail. So the most we could do to combine it was leave our 5 outside, leave our 2 inside. Since square root of 2 and square root of 8, those are both inside the jail, so that's why we could multiply them together to get 16. Okay, so if it's outside, it's got to stay outside. If it's inside, it's got to stay inside. Now would be a good time to pause and write letter E for yourself. Well, we're going to distribute our 2. We'll have 2 times 2 plus 2 times the square root of 3. Well, 2 times 2 is just 4, plus 2 times the square root of 3. Well, 2 is outside our radical, so it's stuck there. 3 is inside our radical, so it's stuck there. Looking at these, we can't simplify 4 anymore. We can't simplify 2 square roots of 3 anymore. So 4 plus 2 square roots of 3 is our final answer. This is our last problem, so again, you might want to pause the video and try to solve it for yourself first. 3 square roots of 2 times 24 plus 2 times the square root of 6. So let's go ahead and distribute. We'll have 3 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 24 plus 3 times the square root of 2 times 2 times the square root of 6. So let's just go ahead and organize everything. Well, our 3 is going to stay outside. Since 2 and 24 are both under the radical, we could combine those into 2 times 24. And then we're adding. Here we've got our 3 and our 2. Those are both whole numbers, so I'm going to put my whole numbers together. And then since square root of 2 and square root of 6 are both underneath the radical, I'm going to put those underneath 1 radical. So again, all we did was kind of simplify, organize our terms a little bit here. Well, let's keep going. So 3 is still stuck outside. Square root of 2 times 24. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try and factor that. 24 we could write as 2 times 12. And 12 we could write as 4 times 3. So 2 times 24 we could really write as 2 squared times 2 squared times 3. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. Then we're going to add. Well, 3 times 2 is just 6. And underneath our radical, we've got 2 times 6. But 6 is really 2 times 3. We could rewrite 2 times 6 as the square root of 2 squared times 3. So now that we found our groups of 2, we are ready to take the square root. 3 is just stuck outside of our radical. Square root of 2 squared is 2, so that comes outside. Square root of 2 squared again is 2, so that comes outside. Square root of 3, we can't take that. That's stuck inside. Plus, well, 6 is outside. Square root of 2 squared is 2, so that can come outside of our radical. Square root of 3, we still can't take that, so that is stuck inside. Well, now all these numbers are outside our radical, so we can take 3 times 2 times 2. So that's going to be 6 times 2 is 12 times the square root of 3, plus 6 times 2 is 12 times the square root of 3. Well, our individual terms are as simplified as they can be. And then we could take, since they have the same radical, that means they're like terms. So if we have 12 of something plus 12 more, that tells us we have 24 of that thing. So 12 square roots of 3 plus 12 square roots of 3 is 24 square roots of 3, and that's our final answer. Couple of reminders, you're either out or you're in. So you can multiply things outside of the jail together. You could multiply what's inside the jail together, but you can't take it and move it in or out. Check to see if radicals are completely simplified, so you don't want any perfect squares underneath the radicals, and then add or subtract like terms if necessary.